Okay, so this is the big Bjorkish toboggan, and it's got a crack in the plastic, as if you can see it just there. It goes to about there, so it can be reinforced either with plastic or wood. I'm going to add a bit of wood, this bit of wood. There's the offcut. It was rough sawn 4x1. I've put a bit of a bull nose on it. It's good not to have sharp edges. For one thing, we don't have any sharp edges on the sleighs anywhere, so it'll look a bit out of place, whereas once this is oiled you won't notice it so much, but also the clients are going to be sitting in there, so it's a lot more comfortable as if it's rounded. Okay, so I'm going to put that into place and then I'll explain a few other little things to you. You can see here, hopefully, that we've also got cracks in the corners. You can fix anything with duct tape and WD-40. That's what lots of people say. WD-40 is amazing. Duct tape's rubbish. So on this side I've put a little bit of white duct tape with Gorilla Glue underneath. I think the Gorilla Glue will last a lot longer than the tape, but the tape's white and shouldn't be so noticeable. On the other side, just bear with me a second. Okay, so you see the hole that I've drilled there? That's yeah, that's to stop the fracture from spreading. Basically, where you've got a crack, you're better off ending it with something round, and it stops the fracture point from carrying on. So I'm going to add a little bit more Gorilla Glue to that and put a little bit of tape along the bottom there, and I've screwed the piece of wood on from underneath. Focus, go on. And I've put the screws through a piece of old runner plastic, and yeah, so we've got runner plastic this side, wood the other side, and that should hold a few I don't know what's happening to my phone with the focus. Yeah, that should hold the weight of a few fat English tourists yet. So I've used Gorilla Glue underneath the wood, and basically everywhere where there's a joint I've used it. The old runner plastic that I put underneath, it's under that, underneath the tape, in the hole. Gorilla Glue's pretty good stuff. Another thing is if it's a multi-day sleigh, then it's only really got to take the weight of the sleigh bag. So yeah, so just drilling a hole at the end of the crack is probably okay, just that, and a bit of tape over the top of it. But even the multi-day sleighs, we sometimes put clients in sometimes. So as if the plastic gets really bad, just change the plastic. It's something that I can't really do at the moment with the big toboggan, because we haven't got plastic of that size. So hopefully it should last a few years, that repair, yeah, before we do actually have to buy new plastic for that sleigh. So some old repairs for you. Okay, so that's just a strip of runner plastic that's been held on with nuts and bolts. There's nothing underneath that, and I don't know as if you can see, but there's Gorilla Glue coming out the edges there. Obviously you should, once the Gorilla Glue's gone off, you should try and tidy it up a little bit with a knife. This is the sleigh next to it. Both of these have got blue labels on. which means dodgy toboggan bed. But you see down here, that's nothing much, just a bit of a crack, and all that's got is a hole drilled at the end of the crack. Okay, so this one, right at the back, we've got a crack, and it's just got clear Gorilla Tape on it. I think it's held for the season, but I think I'm going to take the tape off and see what's underneath it, and maybe add a bit of plastic to the back here. Okay, so this is quite a messy one, but an effective one. So we've got one piece of plastic added vertically, again bolted on. You could use bolts, you could use rivets. Bolts I think are better. And then we've got another piece of plastic here. I think the trick is to catch them before the crack spreads, and to certainly at least get a hole drilled in the end of the crack. Okay, well, hope that's been useful. See you around. Bye bye.